Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hacker.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ZoWhat morning show is back in the building with yet another heater. Just because we're at the end of the year doesn't mean we don't get hotter. You think it's winter time? Not up in here. I wish you was in this studio. You'd understand how hot it is. Today's topic, man, you know how I got to do this topic. And I'll tell you really quickly. Too much disrespect in the black community. Too much disrespect in the world. We need to understand what respect is. But before we get into the topic, we got to promote black businesses. Small businesses. Businesses that are struggling, fledgling, trying to get off the ground. We like to promote them for free because we want to give them a fighting chance to survive. Hey, man, did you bring some of those turmeric shots? Anyway, I got two businesses that I need to highlight really quickly. But before I do that, I got to urge you all that it's Cash Mob Monday. Cash Mob Monday means you cash mob all of the businesses that are being highlighted here. So when they give you their website, when they give you their links, go support in numbers. Now, don't forget the GoFundMe page that Zoe Williams has set up for the VOR Radio Network is www.gofundme.com/Zoe Williams. Anybody that's donating $25 or more during the broadcast will get shouted out. Now, let's move quickly. Man, y'all better know who's sitting to my right. The West Coast representative of the Nation of Islam, a brother of high esteem, honor, integrity, and respect, Min.Tony Muhammad in the building, brother. Man. Welcome, man. Talk to him, man.
No, Brother Zoe, it's an honor to be on your show, to be allowed an opportunity to speak to those that follow you and respect your word and your guidance. So it's truly an honor, particularly in a time like this, in a time like what we see happening with our people all over this globe. So today, my job is just to speak truth to power and responsibility to the victim, because we can't sit back and just be a victim. You know, we blame other people for 95% of our problem and then turn around and give them 100% of our money.
Ooh.
That's got to stop.
Okay, here we go. All right. It's about to turn up.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
So it's time for us to be responsible. It's time for us to be like the dry bones in the Bible. And from those bones will come an exceedingly great army, because this is the best generation we've ever produced. They're not afraid. They're brave. They have courage. They just need guidance. And
so tell them about your business. You got several businesses.
Yeah.
Y'all got to go cash mob, brother Min.Tony Muhammad. Business number one, what we got on deck?
Well, business number one is a company, a friend of mine and I, we joint ventured. It's called New Republic West. New Republic West is a full financial service company where we come in our community and we help our community during tax season. Liberty Tax, H&R Block, they're gouging our community. And our people don't get back the biggest in return. Right now in Los Angeles, I'm hiring 1,000 people between now and January the 15th. So anyone that know people in Los Angeles, we are hiring 1,000 tax preparers that can make anywhere from $1,800 every 2 weeks to $4,000. We're sharing the wealth.
This man came in here with jobs.
Oh, please. Yeah, we got to stop blaming others, man, and unite and just do for ourselves.
That's it.
Because we're going to compete with Liberty Tax and H&R Block and get them off the block.
Oh, get them off the block.
Yeah, they got to go.
Hey, man, listen. If you guys don't know, You gonna know in the next 2 hours who this brother is and what he's really about. This is LA. This is LA pedigree right here. We about to go in like Flynn. Trust me.
Yeah.
Now we have another business to your right, brother Muhammad.
Yes.
This is a good friend of mine. I mean, his nephew. I was in the early stages of his nephew's development. His nephew is none other than Exhibit.
Wow.
Right? And this brother right here has been a guiding force in Exhibit's life, and now he's doing some powerful things.
What's good, Zo?
Vidal!
What's happening?
Speak on it!
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me here on the ZoWhat show on Hot Button Radio and being next to Brother Muhammad.
Man.
I brought my podcast partner and producing partner, Megan Kramer.
Perry. Hello. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
All the names. Yeah. And we are here to promote our podcast. And
Amazing podcast.
And the podcast, Zo, is a race podcast, but it's done a little bit differently. And what we did was, Megan, you want to tell them?
Yeah, sure. So what we did is we invited 12 strangers, varying races. We brought them into Delicious Pizza in West Adams. We sat them down. We gave them one topic, which was race, and we let them talk. So it's 12 episodes.
Wow.
They're all amazing. The guests range from activists to stay-at-home moms.
To Zo.
To Zo.
And they asked me not to curse.
Yeah,
To Zo.
Zoe's on the podcast on December 29th if you want to check that out.
Educate.
And you can find us at www.humankindpodcast.com.
Subscribe,
rate, comment, please. We're getting great reviews. Fingers crossed. And I think
picking up. We are having a difficult conversation podcast, and kind of in the spirit of what you do here on the ZoWhat Hot Button Radio Show. It's about taking these directly to the people's chests and seeing how they respond, and kind of forcing the issue of race down people's throats.
Wow.
And making them accept that we have things that we need to adhere to and move on from and discuss out in the open instead of being afraid.
What's the name of the link again, or the podcast again?
It's called the Humankind Podcast, and it's www.humankindpodcast.com.
There it is. Y'all got to support it. Listen, I got products here. We Juice. My man Hassan McCullough comes. Now, let me say it right. Hassan Kareem McCullough. Let me get it correct. Okay.
Where is Kareem?
Where is Kareem? Right? This brother right here makes these juices by hand. I have to say, let me shout out the ZoWhat listening audience. You guys kept this man's business alive. If it wasn't for y'all supporting this man's business, we would not have him here today. Right here, this is the turmeric shot. People don't know the medical value of turmeric. This dude condenses it all in one of these little shots. He got ginger shots. I think the ginger one is called a ginger grenade. Yes. WeJuice.com. That's OUIJUICE.com. WeJuice. He's got all types of stuff here, packages. He's a personal trainer. Please support my man Hassan. He's here every week. We appreciate it. Now, we got another brother in the building. What you promoting? Let's do it.
My name is Papa Joe Avianson. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. I am promoting a lifestyle brand called the Electric Negro. It's part of my story. I lost 250 pounds by walking, no gym, no gastric bypass surgery, no crazy diets. I lost it all by shopping for healthy foods at the 99-cent only
stores.
Show
them damn pants, because people need evidence. Get them pants out. People need to see what a good walk will do for you. Wow.
Seriously. Yeah. Seriously. Right here. Hang on. Stand up for you.
Christ alive. If he wasn't a burger murderer, I don't know what is. A serial killer. I'm telling you. He's stalking boxes of tricks.
Cocoa Puffs.
But tell them your story really quickly and how they support you, man.
Well, basically, it's about finding the inner strength within yourself and being the best that you can be. You can find my products at JoJo Now. That's JoeJoe Now.com. And also, I just want people to be motivated and inspired to get out there and be their best self. and being electric. That's it. We all are electric.
Wow.
We all are electric.
Wow. Hey, man, I appreciate you for coming on. Let's all support the good brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And then I got my other homeboy back here, Gio. Gio's got a serious situation that we all got to think about and coalesce around. Gio, you got 3 minutes to tell us what's cracking and how they support you, bro.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Hey, Zo, thank you for having me on the show. I was on the show last week. What I have real quickly is my mother has cancer, and I set up a GoFundMe page for her, and the page is for the number 4 Brenda Joyce, BrendaJoyce. You can find it on GoFundMe, and you can also go on Facebook and find it there as well. I want to give a quick shout out to the people that have donated thus far. Actually, one person from your audience, Zoe, Cliff Thomas donated $100. Thank you. Zach Becker donated $100. Zoe, my friend Zoe, donated $25. Kahama Rainrod L donated $50, and my friend Dijon Jurgen donated $100. So if you guys could please go to the it's a GoFundMe page. It's for Brenda Joyce, the number 4 Brenda Joyce, BrendaJoyce. We are also doing a compilation CD to raise funds for not only my mom but for the cancer awareness. That's pretty much. Thank you so much.
Great. There it is. Don't talk about it, be about it. Oh, we got a couple more products. The lady. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Lordy, Lord.
See, this is the type of crack you're supposed to be addicted to.
You finally said the case.
This right here is a sweet potato cupcake.
Wow.
Now, anybody who had the sweet potato cake, she just did this to tease people. She been mad at me lately because I've been forgetting to bring. She makes gifts for y'all, but I don't like y'all very much. So I tend to hide the gifts and act like I forgot. So today I was forced to remember. They put it in the car. Like, this is, you got to take this.
I'm going to have to go over your head.
Listen, anybody planning any New Year's Eve parties, Christmas parties, whatever, you can't have one of those parties without this sweet potato cake with the sour cream icing.
Man.
It's retarded.
It's ridiculous.
Then all this candy she makes, this toffee. Listen, what's the website? Shepherd's Sweets. Shepherd's Sweets makes a wonderful gift. The kitchen is open. She's ready to be in there all week long to fill your orders so you can get them by Christmas. Please continue to support the good sister. And listen, she's the mother of my 2 oldest children. And I will fight the devil if somebody crossed them. So I got to come support her and make sure that everything is right with them. Let's support this movement. She helped me get my oldest son into college. You got to have a good mama to get a kid into college and hold his head. You got to have a good mama.
That's right.
So she the type of woman throw herself in front of the bus for them kids. So she done did a great job, and I want to make sure that I support her in every endeavor that she does.
What up, yes?
ShepherdsSweets.com. That's her movement right there. Now, I think I got a couple more things to promote. We got 2 minutes.
Can I give out the number for those looking for jobs?
For jobs, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this is powerful. If you know anyone that's looking for a job, particularly in the Los Angeles area, have them call 323-920-0122. That's 323-920-0122. They're looking for a job. We're hiring 1,000 people right now.
In Los Angeles.
Particular people that look like us.
Wow. Let's go.
Black man and woman need a job. As well as if you're going to do taxes this year, we have it where we can double your federal refund.
Wow.
If you come and do business with us, you'll have an opportunity to double your refund.
Let me just
That's
say,
newrepublicwest.com.
Let me just say that this is a man of integrity.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, y'all know me. I don't associate with Fugazi. This is a man of integrity. He done brought jobs into the building. So please,
1,000 of them.
Get over there. What's the number one more time?
323-920-0122. That's newrepublicwest.com.
There it is. Now I'm going to button this community empowerment up real quick. Get to the GoFundMe page. Anybody who goes to the GoFundMe page for the birth of the VOR radio network will get shouted out throughout the show. We need your donations. Cash mob us all today. I appreciate everybody for chiming in. Oh, wait, one more time, my homeboy. Kevin, promote your boxing service.
My boxing service.
You saw what I did to you last week.
Nothing.
I put
Zero.
hands on you.
Zero. You weren't there last week.
Okay, the week before
So he
last.
put hands on me from afar.
Was it the week before
the
last?
spiritual hands.
Come on, you got 60 seconds.
Lay hands on him. So, yeah. So you guys, you want some training? You want to burn off the holiday food that you know you're going to pack on? Hit me up at 3bbootcamp.com. That's the number 3, B as in boy, bootcamp.com. Also, for you people who want the status classes, thank you for hitting me up. And they're every Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to be taking a little break for the end of the new year. Then on the new year, we're going to start them back up. So if you're trying to get out or elevate your status in the system, learn how not to be a slave, how to stop calling yourself black, hit me up.
Well, there
that's realnaggas.com.
Got you. Hey, we're about to take a quick break, but when we come back, it's really about to get heated. Oh my God. Is respect more important to relationships than love? Is respect subjective? What you respect, I might not respect. I might not even be able to understand your definition of it. What is respect and why do we need it? When we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, the ZoWhat Morning Show back in the building. Dash Radio, Hot Button Radio. If you don't know what Dash Radio is, all you got to do is go to dashradio.com. Then search Hot Button Radio. It's what we do every Monday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We don't play any games. We have conversations that everybody is afraid to conduct. So now we're going to go to the man who sets up our topics with sober, cold, linear whiteness, Dr. Mark Goulston.
It's not easy being whitey locks on this show, I will tell you. Okay, so we're going to talk about respect, something that I get very little of in this show.
Oh, jeez.
Was that whining? Yes, it was. So how do you gain respect? So there's 5 things you need to do to gain respect. And tell me if you respect someone who shows these things. First of all, you got to have the wisdom to know what's important and not focus on what's unimportant. You need to have the judgment to know the right thing to do and not the wrong thing. You need to have the integrity to do the right thing. You need to have the character to stand up to people who don't do the right thing. And this is the toughest. You need to have the courage to stop people who won't do the right thing. So if you have wisdom, judgment, integrity, character, and courage, I'd buy a used country from you.
Okay, so basically you have to be 140 years old.
I'm getting there.
You'll buy a used country from me? Something telling me this one going to be up for sale in less than 5 years.
Here we go. Jeff Brown. All right, so now that Dr. G has set up the topic, let me tell you what today's real topic is, because Dr. G has a way of obfuscating the truth, so let's get busy. Today's topic, put some respect on it. Respect 101, a deeper look at how to work for it, cultivate it, and set the tone for others to earn it from you.
Get it?
God, listen, you guys know how I like to do. I like to ask questions to frame it up.
That's right.
Is it harder to get respect from others when it's demanded? If you're demanding respect, does that mean you're going to get it? Or does that make the person who you want it from look down on you because you're not in a position of power? Could demanding respect reveal your position in the game? Oh, Jesus. 323-230-4445 is the number to dial. Is it easier for blacks to disrespect other blacks than it is to demand respect from whites in power? I like to ask ugly questions. I know. True or false in relationships, respect may be even more crucial than love. What's the difference between respect and fear? How are respect and fear related? How are respect, fear, and loyalty related? Oh, God. Well, it says in the Bible, God is no respecter of persons, so I guess we don't have to respect people either. What is your concept of respect? And is it incompatible with your partner? Somebody call us right now, 323-230-4445. Who wants to get into this conversation? Let's do it right now. We have a crack panel. Minister Tony Muhammad is in the building. Jeff Brown, Kevin Behringer, Dr. Mark Goulston, and of course, the homie Vidal. Let's get busy. Minister, do black people lack respect for one another? And is it something instinctive? I go back to Cain and Abel. Or is it something learned? I go back to slavery. Can you speak on that?
Yes. Well, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us that since coming to this country, we suffer. We suffer from this disease, self-hatred. And that self-hatred has been perpetrated on us because we are people who lost everything, our name, our language, our culture, our God. And we are people, even with slavery, we're still suffering the psychological effects of slavery. But I'm not here to put the blame on someone else because there's so much wisdom. There's so much wisdom out there that we've had some of the greatest teachers in the world. I'm here to speak truth to power and responsibility to the victim. We got to stop victimizing ourselves and then stop asking whites who are victimizing us to stop it. We have to do it. We can't demand respect. We have to take respect. And we take respect by first showing the world that as a people, we respect each other. What if and when the Bloods and Crips stop killing each other and become protectors of the community instead of destroyers of the community, then who's going to come in our community, even if it's the police, and just shoot us? See? So, look, man, people are not going to respect you until you earn it. I don't want nobody to give me respect. I'm going to earn it from you. First, I'm going to demand it from myself. And when I demand it from myself, guess what you going to do? You're going to respect me whether you want to or not.
Wow. Jeff Brown has to get in. He can't wait.
Man, look, okay?
Jeez.
Y'all watch this show, y'all know it ain't many people that I am in awe of. Brother
Not
Minister
even me.
Muhammad,
No, I'm just
would you please get out of the way?
I love
it. Something the minister just said struck a chord with me. What is with this, y'all?
Hey, just talking to the mic, Jeff. Stop acting unprofessional.
Okay.
Okay.
Something the brother just said made a lot of sense to me with regard to earning respect. If I give you respect that you didn't earn, now it's on loan. Now it's on loan. I'm going to get something back with interest for any respect that you did not earn. Think about the situation you in with this country. All the respect, quote unquote, that you were given without earning, as in welfare, as in the concept of having to be policed by an outside entity. That respect you did not earn. It was given to you. So guess what is given back? Guess what you have to give back with interest? You gave me welfare, but you took my fathers. You took my men. That's the interest on the unearned respect.
Dr. G?
I'd like to ask everyone here, what do you, I think part of respect is what do you stand for? What will you stand up for? And what will you stand up against for what you stand for? Also, I think a big part of respect, and I think one of the reasons Trump won is that when you're declarative, people know where you stand for or what you stand for. It was the Declaration of Independence. It wasn't the explanation of independence. So it's really important to declare what you stand for, but it's got to be something more noble than your own selfish interest. So I'd like to throw it out to my
we got Vidal.
Yeah. You know what? That the word that comes before that precedes respect to me is self.
That's right.
So what we have, Zoe, and all these great people talking about this subject is we have a lack of self-respect. When we understand that, and Zoe, you and I have had offline conversations about not asking for anything and assuming, and that all the prisms that have existed throughout time are subjective and they're illuminations of sorts. And I know for sure that self-respect and self-esteem that correlates with self-respect,
self-worth, yeah.
All the selves that go with that are some of the reasons why we have respect issues.
Yeah. It's hard to respect what you don't know.
Say more.
It's hard to respect what you don't know. So when you don't have self-knowledge, it's hard to respect what you don't know. You go in and out of being other personalities.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, you go among Chinese, now you come back acting Chinese. You go among Jewish people, you come back acting Jewish.
Wow.
But when we say be black, you don't know how.
Or and even if you have a misconception or a misnomer of what being black is, you reject it.
Yeah, well, we can't let others determine what being black is. We got to study and get a thorough knowledge of self so that we can respect self.
Kevin? Resident wordsmith. Here we go.
Yep, that's the way I'm coming. So there's a connotation that the word respect has that most people think means to value or to hold me in high esteem. That's not actually what the word means. It means to look back at or to acknowledge. And so when you're acknowledging somebody, so then acknowledge goes back to recognize. So this goes back to a lot of everything that you guys were saying, self-respect. It basically means to recognize who you are. Now, and for someone else to respect you, then you basically have to show them who you are. And you can show them anything. If you're a punk, somebody will respect you as a punk. If you are hardcore, somebody will respect you as hardcore. It's basically what you're showing them.
Yes.
And so when he says, I don't want anybody to give me respect, nobody can give you respect. You have to tell people how to treat you. That's really what respect is. If you show me how to treat you, then I will. Because there are some people who you got to say bullies, who they know who they can go to and who they can punk. And then they know I ain't messing with that dude, because if I do, I got a world of problems. So that's respecting that dude as somebody who can whoop my ass. And then that's respecting this dude as somebody who can't fuck with me. So again, it's all based on who you show or what you show people who you are.
Dr. G?
I want to focus back on the word self, because people who have self-respect go where they're looking. People who lack self-respect look where they're going. And when you go where you're looking, to me, I'm a neuroscientist, so to me, part of yourself is how you're thinking, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are aligned with the reality you perceive. And people with little respect have the tail, meaning the outside world, wagging the dog, whereas people with self-respect, they know what they think, what's important to think, what they feel, what's important to feel, and what they should do. And so when those things are aligned, they step into the world and they are present, and you know who they are, where they're going. But a lot of people who don't have that, they keep looking for that outside thing to define them. And again, like I said, it's the tail wagging the dog, because they'll attach to something. Oh, anything outside the black community is better than what we have. And then that feeds back and it changes your thinking, your feelings, what you act, and you pull further and further away from the black community.
Vidal and then Tony.
Yeah, the quick question around the table is, for us as black men in this world, a lot of the perception of us having high levels of self-respect is deemed arrogance, and that arrogance works against us. So my question is, when we're talking about self-respect and self-regard for ourselves, how do we protect ourselves from, for lack of a better word and keeping it simple, hate of others?
Tony, and then Ninja.
Yes. Yeah. Well, once you come into a thorough knowledge of yourself, then you throw off the identities that others have enforced on you. Because we have identities that's been enforced on us.
Here we go.
And it's perpetrated in the music. It's perpetrated in the movies. I can't even win an Oscar unless I play some nasty, vicious role that demeans my people. Whereas I did another role that uplifts my people, but yet I'm looking for white validation. We got to stop looking for white validation. I don't need your Oscars. I don't need your nothing. I just need to come into a thorough knowledge of myself, do what the Chinese have done, do what the Koreans have done. On my way over here, I rode through Chinatown. I rode through Little Armenia. I rode through Little Tokyo. Where's Little Africa? Where we are somewhere empowering ourselves. And lastly, whenever a people have been victimized and beaten, you normally take on that which has dominated you. So now we're acting like the overseer. There is no difference between a gang member and the KKK.
Ooh, okay.
That's
Here we
powerful.
go. Here we go, Jeff.
I need a favor.
No.
For the rest of the show.
No.
I'm gonna have to go in front of Brother Min.Tony. I can't be following that.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes,
now,
you can.
2. Speaking of the Oscar, for those of you who know, it is shaped after you, the God Ptah. Anyway,
I like
please tell me which animal you think the lion is concerned with how he looks to. Not the hyena.
The lion don't give a damn.
Don't give a damn. He don't even, the concept that he is a lion is foreign to him because he don't read. He didn't name himself a lion. You did. That's your way of coping with what he is.
Ooh.
So, the first thing you need to do is drop like a hot rock the concept of desiring anyone to view you as anything other than those that you love, are responsible for, or are responsible to. That's the first thing. But we can't do that because if you think about it, everything that black folks hold dear, everything tangible that black folks hold dear is some shit they think white folks won't.
This is, let me just say this. This is why gang violence is so attractive. This is why disorganization in our community is so rampant. Because a false sense of respect, which is always associated with power, comes from when we marginalize and demean each other. You see, you can't make the white man respect you. So what's the easiest way?
I'm gonna make somebody.
I'm gonna make somebody. Yeah. I'm gonna come back home and marginalize the people around me, and then that lifts me up at least over them. See, that's the thing we got to get away. This brother is talking about narrative. He's talking about becoming the author of your own narrative.
Absolutely.
White people, black people don't want to write no more.
No.
You have a child, you have automatically become an author. See, now the children are modeling what you're authoring in your home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Listen.
Well, brother, I just want to say this. And I can give you the names of presidents in social science. Our community, we have been socially engineered to be criminals.
Oh, my God.
Say more.
Come on, bro.
You see, and you need to take a look at that. Clinton, Mr. Clinton, the president.
Yeah.
Reagan, they all now admitting, Nixon, they are admitting that they socially engineer black men to become criminals because the prison industrial complex, which is now owned by Wall Street, is the new route back to prison, where it can't be no prison if it ain't no prisoner. You can't have a prisoner unless there's crime. And when you are an investment banker, are you investing in crime so that you can capture your product? This is the problem. I just left Tulsa, Oklahoma, because I went to experience Black Wall Street, where white racists burned down, bombed a whole community, over 600 black businesses destroyed, black men and women burned to death because white people was jealous that black people was doing for self and didn't need them. 600 business. I saw a business where a black man manufactured his own buses. We had our own planes. That economy today would be worth $25 billion. Somebody said black people cannot rise. And we got to always be looking for those who are wanting to put their foot. This is why I respect my Jewish brethren. They say never again.
Come on.
You cannot portray an image in a way where that rabbi won't come get in your backside.
Yeah. All of them.
No, and I like that.
You mess with one?
Oh, I love
That's
it.
it. See, there you go.
I love it.
But,
I love them for that. And we got to be the same way.
Brother Min.Tony won't cuss, but I will. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. That is the strength of Jews. It is impossible to fuck with one of them. You ain't. I tell you what. You say something. I'm in the entertainment industry. If I say something that anti-Semitic, or even something that is construed as anti-Semitic,
That's your ass.
you know what? I got to find something else to do. because that is how they get down. And you can be mad at them. You can say it's their fault. That's a cop out. We need to take a book out of that page.
Now watch this though.
Excuse me.
Now watch this.
Ooh, take a book out
Jews
of the page.
are human. A lot of people forget. We will give them, the Jews. The Jews. They human.
That's the respect they earn.
But let me show you how much respect, like the brother minister was talking about. The reason why I point out that they're human is because they have conflict and difficulty within themselves.
Sure.
But you don't know nothing about it.
But you don't know about it. That's where the respect. They don't. There's Jews that don't like other Jews.
But they don't put their shortcomings to dance music.
Right. But they not dissing each other on YouTube videos.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A Jew will do business with a Jew he don't like just to keep that money in the community.
Thank you.
Nor would they put their woman on a pole.
Do you understand?
No.
Listen, it goes back to my respect point. Respect.
I love it.
When you marginalize your own people, right? When you hate on yourself, even in that energy and that fire of hate. In the Quran, it said, the demons are made of Narun and Samun.
Come on.
Smokeless fire.
Watch out now. Watch
right?
out.
Do you see what I'm saying? When that fire of hatred, man. You feel like, oh, I got strength. I got power. You feel like you strong. But that's weak. That's weakness. You see? So again, in our community, we get this burning in our chest when we hating on somebody else. And that is for a fleeting second, like a meaningless orgasm power. Just for a second. But if you really want to show power, you keep your dislikes and your disrespects for your people inside and you continue to work with them. Ask Bill Gates. Bill Gates said, I'm not going to let Apple go out of business.
That's a great point, Zoe.
I'm not gonna let Steve Jobs fall on his ass. I may not like Steve Jobs. He might be my chief rival, but here's 150 million. We need to see what else you gonna create so I can steal that from you. Dr. G. So I can copy it.
Well, as the resident Jew on the panel.
Shit.
Oh, shit.
Make no mistake, that's why you're here.
I was thinking that if you were to ask people in my community, on the Jewish community, what do you think you deserve and what do you think you're entitled to? I think we'd come up with, we deserve to survive. And we know we can't depend on anyone else, so we'll depend on ourselves.
That's right.
And that's what we need to do to survive. But here's the interesting thing. If you asked people outside the black community, what do you think that we in the black community deserve and are entitled to? I don't think people would answer. They wouldn't know what to say. And I think that some of the black community has internalized, we don't deserve and we're not entitled to anything because you've internalized, what you say, the narrative that people have.
Right.
And it's a whole different thing. And it's,
Go ahead, Doc.
And so you were talking about, well, if we say what we deserve or entitled to, we're arrogant. Well, if you ask people, well, you think we're arrogant, what do you feel we deserve or entitled to? They're going to look fucking clueless, and I don't swear that often.
You thought it was cool today?
Yeah.
You thought you could cross the line? It's cool.
I caught it from you, Zoe. I caught it from Jeff.
Well,
I got it from Jeff. Go.
Right. Well, the Bible. Go ahead, dear brother.
And then you take us.
Let my brother speak.
I just wanted to talk about the difference. Zoe was making an example between Jews and melanated people. And I wanted to say the collective self-respect of both are different. So you have the self-respect or the collective self-respect of melanated people is such where they'll go on and diss each other on YouTube and in front of each other and this and that. Whereas Jewish people, they don't have that same thing. They understand who they are. They'll make you acknowledge who they're showing who they are. So, there's a case that goes back to where the brother was talking about somebody giving you your title or, give your narrative, creating your narrative. And there's a case called the Dred Scott case. So within the Dred Scott case, most people misconstrue what the case is. They think that the case was they basically ruled that black people weren't worth anything. And that wasn't what the case was about. The judge who gave the opinion, Judge Taney, he literally gave distinctions of why he lost the case. He said that Dred Scott, he says, based on what you called yourself, an African descended from African slaves imported into this country, we have no rules for you within this country. So this is what he said. This is what he told the court who he was. So in that status, they had nothing for him. Had he understood who he was, because the judge also, he broke down, he said, unlike the Indians or the Native American nation who have their own laws and this and that, he broke down the distinction between what he was calling himself and the Native Americans who were free and sovereign people. So it's you have to creating your own narrative. What the brother was saying, that's absolutely true. But you have to tell people who you are, or they will respect you for what you show them, which is maybe nothing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, to me,
Brother Tony,
what we have not realized as a people, the book of Ephesians says it like this: we are people who others are at war with us. We haven't realized it. Ephesians said we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the powers and the rulers of the darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Anytime we become self-determined, somebody's trying to stop us. Anytime we say we're going to get our own record label, anytime we say we're going to get our own distribution, somebody's trying to stop us. We become a people like Lazarus in the Bible is begging for the crumbs that fall off the rich man's table. We have a $1.9 trillion spending power.
Woo! Speak on it.
See? And instead of just saying Black Lives Matter, instead of saying Kumbaya, instead of saying give me, y'all owe me, instead of begging the Democrat or the Republican, why don't we redistribute the pain? Like Dr. Martin Luther King said in the 60s. He said to Jesse, what's the name of that bread company that black people buy their food? What's the name of that ice cream company? Why don't we do our own? And then black people got to go out of their way to give their monies to other blacks. And then instead of demanding from other people, we put the demand on ourselves. If we got more black trillionaires, more black billionaires, we could put that demand on ourselves. As I'm hiring 1,000 people in the community, I'm not making no excuses for why black people don't have a job. We're hiring 1,000. And guess what? I want brothers with the worst criminal records. That's who can work for me.
How about it?
That's what qualify you.
Yes.
How about it, Jeff?
I want to go a little further. I believe in financial terrorism. Okay? I think the biggest mistake that we made recently is having Mr. Sterling sell the Clippers. Were it up to me, we would have said as a group, as a collective, no leader, because an animal is harder to kill when you can't find its head. What we should have said was, Mr. Sterling, keep the Clippers. Pretty please with sugar on top. Do not sell them. What we are going to do as a group of people is we are going to watch every game for 30 days for the commercials. And we are going to let those companies know that for the next 100 years or 6 generations, we will teach our children not to buy from or deal with those who buy from you. Number 2, nobody will play for or against the Clippers for 6 generations or 100 years. That will be, we will turn the Clippers into what it's like being in the entertainment industry with no Jews on the team. It's like being in the NBA with no niggas on your team. You can play, you just ain't gonna win.
They would have turned into the Slippers.
The Slippers.
Hey, Zoe, did y'all know the Clipper, that name, go look it up. It is the name of a slave ship.
It's a ship.
So he knew what he was talking about when he said, these are my niggas. I own them.
Absolutely.
He had them on a slave ship.
Absolutely. Well, the DJ you hear throwing down in the background, that's my man Julian Ramirez.
Playing Jeff Brown's music, by the way.
I love it. I love it.
Instagram, SoundCloud, and Twitter, DJ Julian, at DJ Julian Ramirez. Check him out. We about to go to break. When we come,
I love this.
When we come back,
show.
We're going right into the intellectual rant, Jeff Brown.
We're going right back to my rant. So 1, we'll see y'all in a minute, and 2, that chair is honorarily yours.
Yeah. Nobody can sit in it after this.
Come on.
No, sir.
Whenever you ain't got nothing to do.
Sir, you ain't putting that heat on me. Where my brother go?
Jeff Brown.
Hey. All right, here we go. I think I want to start this out by discussing. I'm trying to open your phone with my code.
I saw that.
I want. We're on the subject of respect. I put this on Facebook a little earlier this week. Humans, as of the sentence that I'm spitting out, cannot defy gravity. If they walking on you, you laying down. You got to ask yourself, how did you get down there? Did you fall? Did you lay down? Did you wake up down there? Were you born down there? Figure out how you got to the down place that you are being walked on. Prime example is something I love to say about Brother Minister Farrakhan. I have heard him call many things. I've heard him called a race baiter, a Jew hater, an instigator. Hey, I'm rhyming.
An agitator.
An agitator. There's one word I have never heard his detractors use. Liar. Which means you just don't damn like what he got to say. And I'm good with that.
That's it.
Right. I'm fine with that. Right. With regard to a particular movement forward, there is no revolution without revelation. So when you see people who are just fine in a shitty situation, they haven't had a revelation of any sort. The question is, how much of your energy are you going to spend on revelation or revolution? Me, if you tuning in and you hear it, I got you. If it chimes, I got you. I am not going to spend a nanosecond of my life minutes or my lung air on niggas that's pretending to be asleep. I can't wake you up if you faking sleep. You see this shit. You see it. It just seems to be that you're in a comfortable position. Not unlike the sister Omarosa. Not unlike that. Here is what's going to happen. When this grand axe swings, the first heads to fall will be the ones closest to it. You Uncle Toms that are sitting up, you first. You first. There is a reason you are around.
Call them.
There is a moment. I have
Say their name.
I have no problem with it. Okay. If you have an issue with the concept, not the machinations of, not the workings of, not the deeds of, but the concept of Black Lives Matter, and you black, I'm talking to you. Dear Black Lives Matter individuals, those of you who are involved in it, I salute you. I love you. Here's your only problem. You give a damn about what people got to say about you.
Wow.
Don't give a damn. Wow. I don't give a damn what people have to say about what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, where I'm going, what I'm here. I'm gonna say this. I'm done.
You promise?
I promise. You stupid. This is something that both sides need to recognize. Some shit just ain't for you. If you can see, look at Brother Minister Tony Muhammad's suit. Sharp as a rat tail and it's sharp on both ends. Now put a white man in that suit. He looks like an idiot. You know why? Because that suit ain't for him. I'm done.
Jeff Brown's intellectual rant brought to you by all of the fools in the world. Thank you. We appreciate it. The man is man.
I like that, bro.
Go on, say what I got to say. But damn.
So we talking about respect, and in the black community, first off, respect as a concept is skewed for any race. For any race, because it's subjective, right? But when you live under a system of white supremacy, your values are going to be even more skewed because you're in the position of the oppressed and not the one writing the faulty rules for it, right? The concept in and of itself is already subjective, but if someone who rules you writes the rules of respect that you employ. Do you see how what do they call it in the gestalt, your umwelt, how you see the world, how you perceive the world could be warped, right? So I want to know, from this august panel, and I'm going to start with the first female to join the conversation. I want to know, how does one renounce, right, the shades of lies that we look at people through, that we judge and evaluate?
Like that Roddy Piper
How do
movie?
we renounce that?
That's heavy.
What's her name? Hi.
It's amazing that you're asking me this question.
Let's
right
go,
now
Megan! From the Human Podcast,
I've been thinking about this all week, and first of all, I'm going to tell you something. You're talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right. No one told me about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ever. Wow. Not in a history book, not my family, anyone. I found out about Tulsa, Oklahoma 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And that's a huge disservice to me as an American in this country. It's a huge disservice, right? So the question of how do you denounce that? You have to educate yourself about the realities of where you are and what you are doing. You have to educate yourself. So I am really thankful that you guys are letting me be a fly on the wall right now. Not that I haven't heard this conversation before, because I have in some ways, but because, sorry, I'm not talking to the mic, but because it is a rare day that someone like me is offered the education that I deserve.
Yes.
And able to, so that I can denounce what is not right and what is. So that's what I have to say about it. As a woman.
Wow.
Dr. G?
You know, Jeff was talking about what was it? Revelation. I think one of the challenges is how do you teach people to reflect? How do you teach people to pause to play, pause to pray? Because a lot of times, if what you're after is immediate gratification, because stuff hurts too much, as long as you're chasing immediate gratification, you will never evolve, you will never develop, you will never focus on what's important. And I understand that. When you're hurting and you don't think you have much of a future, then you say, well, let me just grab something that'll make me feel better for the moment, and maybe the future will take care of itself. The future will not take care of itself. But you got to be able to sort of pause and reflect and think about it, as opposed to just reacting to what makes you feel better for the moment.
Jeff can't hold himself.
I can't hold it. Here's the issue when you say reflect, Doc.
And I don't mean mirror other people. I mean reflect inside.
Reflect inside. When I reflect inside, you have to question what is on my lens. Okay? I can only look so far back because my lens has been shattered from 6,000 years ago. My lens has been shattered. The word Auschwitz brings pain even to me, because in my reflection, your image is clear. In my own reflection of myself, when I look back, and let's just take the story of Jesus, okay? Jesus was here 2,000 years ago, but the letter J is only 900 years old. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Silas, Timothy, Peter, all English names 2,000 years ago in the Middle East. Not one Ahmed, not one Muhammad, none. He didn't hang out with none of them dudes. My reflection, in order for my reflection to mean anything to me, somebody gonna have to clean my goddamn lens, or it means nothing. What am I looking back at?
Right, because does the fish know it's in the fish bowl?
Wow.
Right.
May I?
Yes, and then Megan.
Yeah.
And then
See, Megan, what she brought up was so beautiful, because as a Muslim follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you all would be amazed at how many Caucasian people follow us.
Come on, man.
Sure.
And how many Caucasian people have been lied to. See, when you're dealing with, you coined the word, Zoe, white supremacy. Now, white supremacy is a mindset. The mindset of a white supremacist is an idea. It's an attitude. And guess what? You don't have to be white to have that mindset. See, and most of my white friends, they don't like for us to talk about our pain because it brings up into them guilt. And if you're not ready to overcome the guilt with me talking about what pains me, then you and I will never see eye to eye.
That's right.
It's like, get over it. I can't be responsible for what my people did to you. Well, not according to karma and not according to scripture. God said that the sins of the children, the father will be visited on his children. And as you have done, so shall it be. She said she didn't know about Tulsa. Very quickly, in my tour, I'm meeting with an all-white audience, and it was anything you want to know about the Nation of Islam. This was a year ago. And a white woman stood up and said, Brother Muhammad, why is it that when black people get mad, you tear up your own community? I said, I'm glad you asked me that question. I said, but in order for me to make you understand it, I'm going to parallel that with your history. When your ancestors was in the 13 colonies, and when you was telling King George taxation without proper representation is tyranny, King George sent more police called troops. They beat the hell out of y'all in the colonies. They hit you with the bayonet of their rifles. They mistreated you. You got so upset, you said, okay, you dressed like Native Americans to hide who you were because the crap you was about to do, you was going to blame it on the Indians. You went to an area called the Boston Harbor. You didn't call what you did a riot. You called it a party. You tore it up. You still didn't get the king's attention then. Your white fathers formed a militia of 70 men. They start killing the troops like black youth is killing the police. That's when you got King George's attention. Then King George came to the Americas, atoned with you, and in return, what did they give y'all? They gave you the Native Americans' country called the United States of America. Wow. One white guy stood up. He said, Brother Muhammad, he said, he said, I just realized I'm a racist because I didn't like you comparing your struggle with ours. But it makes sense to me now. I said, because what you see us doing is not a riot. Minister Farrakhan have been warning you. The more y'all don't give black people no justice, our youth is about to explode. And they're about to start killing you wholesale. See? I said, that's what you're about to witness. So we're saying like your ancestors are saying, no taxation without proper representation is tyranny. And this crap is about to blow up.
So really quickly, a good friend of mine, Furpo W. Carr, PhD, wrote a book called Germany's Black Holocaust. 1890 to 1945, details never before revealed. Let me tell you something about propaganda, i.e. history. You see, you can't be or call yourself the father of medicine when you learned it from somewhere else. You can't call yourself the father of philosophy and psychology when you learned it from somewhere else. If you call yourself the father of psychology and you still have yet to reconcile the mask you're wearing, see, you'll put on the mask of morality, the mask of truth, the mask of superiority, yet still lying.
So she called herself the side dude?
My man, Furpo Carr, wrote this book, Germany's Black Holocaust, that talks about the same type of Holocaust, but only it happened in South Africa. Millions of black people, before Hitler, they practiced their genocide machine in Africa first. See, when you start talking about respect, everybody says reflection, consideration, empathy. You can't have empathy and you got this kind of blood on your hands. And the only way to cleanse blood on your hands is the acknowledgement of your participation in the slaughter.
Wow.
So when you look at black people and you tell black people, how could they be like this? Oh my God, they don't respect themselves. That's because they're under the tutelage of a people, of a system that lacks empathy, that lacks respect for people. All you got to do is look at Big Pharma. All you got to do is look at Monsanto. All you got to do is look at the corporate infrastructure that eats people of all races every day. So how can you then look to those people for respect? It has to start with you. At some point, you got to say, I don't need the rules.
I love it.
I don't need the standards that this system created. Jeff?
Something you just said rung a bell with me with regard to looking at how we respect ourselves. Have you ever seen a father? Have you ever seen like there's a video going around on YouTube of this little boy who is tripping out, having a tantrum in the barbershop to get a haircut, which parenthetically, in my opinion, all he needs is about 4-5 can't sit downs and he'll be all right. 4-5. And not from his mama. He ain't supposed to be getting them from his mama. He's supposed to be getting them from a man that loves him, that he fears.
Wow.
That is a fatherless child. Because of welfare, because of the prison industrial complex, we are fatherless children. And that is why our behavior is off the chain. You took our daddies and then asked why we ain't got no discipline.
Wow. We got Jack from Honolulu on the line. Welcome from the islands, my man. Speak on it.
Pineapple Jack, what's up?
Man, first of all, I would like to say I think the lady referred to it earlier, I feel like a fly on the wall, talking amongst all you great guys who's doing so much for the black community, so I appreciate all y'all for that.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
So my thing is, me being a black man in the military in Honolulu.
What branch?
My thing is Army.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
for your service as well. But my thing is, the first thing you have to start on as far as anything is, I think someone alluded to it earlier, which is self-respect, self-discovery. Mm-hmm. So you really have to stop and challenge everything that you've been taught in your life, see how that applies to you, and go from there. Like, you can't, like, all these moves y'all talking about making as far as respect and everything, you have to know yourself. You have to challenge everything you've been taught. I mean, from parents, from friends, from close ones, from loved ones. I think that is the start of getting on this path to self-respect.
Man, that's why I'm glad you held on. And I knew I had to get to you. I knew I had to get to you because I knew you was going to drop a haymaker. We appreciate you reaching out to us, man. Thank you so much for listening to the Voice of Reason. The ZoWhat show. The Voice of Reason is my other
y'all.
show
Don't
on this
start
network.
No fight in here.
Hey, we appreciate the call. Thank you so much. All the way from Hawaii, Megan.
Yes, sir.
Let me just say.
Go on.
First off, I appreciate you being here
because I appreciate you having me.
I love a female voice on the show.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And my whole thing is, when it comes to respect, and this ain't your fault, but I want to know from your perspective.
Yeah.
There are a lot of sisters who value the beauty of white women over their own beauty. They respect it more. You know, when you go to a melanated country like Argentina, or Chile or Brazil, they always put the fairer skinned woman out front when the country is actually as black as my shirt, right? So my question is, when you see sisters of, when I say sisters, I mean melaninated women. Yes. They could be Latin, they could be African, they could be Cuban, they could be whatever.
Yes.
And you see them with blonde hair and blue eyes, and how do you process that? Do you see them like, wow? You know, how do you see that?
I'm going to go two ways on this. I've got two opinions of that.
Just tell the truth.
The first one is, you don't have to do that, because there's so many beautiful women of color all over the place. You don't have to do that. Second of all, you can if you want to. If that makes you feel good every morning, then do it. I mean, it's the same thing with plastic surgery or any other of these issues. It's like, if that makes you feel good, go for it.
Dr. G.
I think what we're talking about is, how do we make other than something that attracts us as opposed to something that repels us? Because it seems like one of the big problems is anything that's other than threatens us. We don't even think about it. We just think if they're other than, then they're the enemy.
Yeah.
And so there's this built-in reaction to other than. Something I'm doing on the outside, I'm doing this one-man show where I play Steve Jobs. And one of the things, he had a lot of problems, but one of the things he had is he was drawn to the unknown. He loved the unknown.
That's where the wisdom is.
He loved the other than, and he was a true explorer of that. And so how do we make the other than something we can love, learn, be awed by, as opposed to it just being an enemy?
Well, something that I've been looking at recently a lot, just in the quote unquote sort of woman's world, if that's a thing. When I go to the store, when I get on an airplane, I want to buy magazines that I don't really have to pay attention to. I can just look at them. And something that I've noticed lately is that if a magazine is showing me a variety of women on the cover of color as well, I am far more attracted to buying those magazines these days because I want to know about everybody, right? I mean, that's a personal preference. I just want to know what all of these women are doing.
Has that been all your life, or is there something that's evolved in you where you're drawn outside a narrow view?
I think maybe in my 20s. Yes, in my 20s, I started picking up magazines, wanting to get different perspectives and wanting to get different perspectives of different women from all different backgrounds.
And what was there about wanting different perspectives that was much better than sticking with your own safe perspective?
Well, I don't consider it safe, I think. I don't think I consider just getting whiteness is amalgamation, right? We're talking about that as this huge, whiteness is this thing that kind of comes at us all the time. And white people get that too. So if I'm interested in living in this country, if I'm interested in living in my community, which is a multicultural community, I want to know about all of the perspectives and everybody's opinions and what this woman is buying or what this woman is saying or what this woman is interested in. And I consider that more safe, to be honest. I consider that more interesting, safer, interesting, I suppose. But I understand that is not always the case. But, and I also will say as a woman, I want my money to go to that. I want my money to go to that. I want my money to go to what I am interested in, and what I am interested in is different perspectives.
You just gave me an insight I got to share because I never had this insight until I just heard you. I think part of what's always attracted me to the other is that if I can go there without any limiting the filters that are in my mind and the biases as best I can, when I come back to the same, I understand so much more. So there's something about going to the other, but embedding myself there and just experiencing it as best I can with those biases, that when I come back to what's the same, it's much different. And also, I'm much less afraid of going out in the world anywhere. I think if I just stayed in the same, I wouldn't go anywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's safer. It's a way of experiencing life as it is, not as somebody's telling you it is. It's a way of experiencing life that is reality.
Jeff Brown,
I'm gonna need a little bit. I'm gonna kind of get a little bit because
you already had a rant.
Okay, the doc brought up something.
You don't double up on rants.
I don't double up on a rant. Okay, I'm gonna go fast as I can. I'm gonna go fast as I can. Okay, but Doc, something wrong when you said you go to other and then you return. Again, we got to look at where you went and came back. The reason that especially sisters park in other is because where they came from is so dark and painful. Because systematically for years, this has been a truth that has been buried. The black woman in her unweaved, unpermed natural state is the earth's original blueprint for beauty, period. There is no way around that. But they haven't been taught that. That's why I say there is, the revolution starts with the revelation. And the thing that is slowing blacks, and therefore America, and therefore the world down, is the revelation of the black woman. And it's coming. It's slower because she was the one put in charge. She was the one that had her man torn apart in front of her and told, look, you in charge now, and you keep these bucks in charge. And part of that in charge he actually likes, let's just be honest. But until that is broken, and it's crumbling, but until it breaks, this is going to be uphill.
Kevin.
Yeah.
And then Brother Minister.
Yeah, so I'm just dealing with the question of, one of the questions Zoe posed was, so how do you gain respect? And there's...
I was about to do that. I was about to go around the table. So you
word?
might as well just set it up right now. Because I want to know... No, seriously. No, but that's good. I was going to set it up, but I didn't know you was going to talk about it. But let me just set it up then, and I'll start with you.
Okay.
First, I want to know, around the table, how do you gain respect? I also want to know, how do you lose it? Right? And then if you lost it, how do you regain it? Because that's something very important. You know, sometimes we could be very black and white when somebody has lost our respect. We could be very black and white. You know, after they've lost it, it's almost impossible to get it back. So I want to know, starting with you, Kev, how do you gain respect? And consequently, how do you lose it? And how do you get it back? Really quickly.
Well, to gain respect, in my view, is something that everybody was talking on. Jeff said revelation. I forgot her name right here, but
Megan.
Megan, I'm sorry.
It's
that
Megan.
is the
Megan.
whitest white girl name
Come on,
ever.
it doesn't get any whiter than Megan. I'm the white lady in the room. I'm Megan,
Rebecca.
clearly.
Jeez.
Brittany would have been a better choice.
And Megan was saying something about education, and so for melanated people, you need and educate actually means to be raised or led by someone. So you actually need to inform yourself. So you need information about self or self-information, and when you understand who you are and who you were throughout history and why they have so much animosity towards you in the world today, then you'll start to exude that energy of, that higher energy and make people respect you or acknowledge you for who you actually are and even were. To lose respect, there's so many ways to lose respect. By disrespecting someone else, by not acknowledging who they are when they try to show you who they are. Being shady. There's so many ways that you can lose respect. But to me, if you truly show someone who you are, it is really hard for them to disrespect you or to lose that information or that knowledge of who you are once you fully show them the true person of who you are.
Wow, I can smoke a bag of that. Jeff Brown?
I got nothing.
Yeah, you do.
Go ahead, Doc.
There you go.
No, it's Jeff's turn, Doc. Stop trying to be the white man in the
No,
building.
He flipped it to me, and I didn't take the shot. Go on.
You see how Doc be trying to low key?
No,
I am the white man, and let the white man speak.
I see you.
Hold on, Whitey Locks. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff. I'm blaming.
I know you're blaming him. Okay, I am not clear on how it happened, but I am clear on the fact that it is. Somehow, we have been so locked off from what is to be respected till we just have reached at the first thing that got to us. And who's responsible for the first thing that gets to you? Well, the media is. We've gotten to this place where, as a people, we respect the brother that come home from prison more than we do the brother who comes home from college, which I don't know, honestly, how far off key that is because what are they teaching you in college?
How about it? The capitulation factory.
Thank you, sir. Whoa! I love that. Okay. My point is this, is that I can't make ignorance and violence this thing that makes up black people, especially when I taught you how to read. I taught you not to eat off the ground. I taught you how to farm. I taught you how to count. I taught you how to bathe yourself. I taught you everything you know that you put the Puffy remix on and gave back to me and kind of sold me that when I act outside of what I taught you, that I am genuinely being me. That's got to break. But again, Doc, that gets back to cleaning the lens. That gets back to asking. I love asking black Christians this. How old is the earth? How old
it's
is it?
4,004 years old.
Yeah. It's only gonna, okay. Do you
thought
know
I'd
why?
come in that it's BC before Common Era BCE. That's 4,004 years.
Okay. All right. Here's my point. If you read the Bible chronologically, it's about 6,000 years, give or take 50. Now, you know what happens?
Jesus, 4,004.
You stupid. If you go back, there's a reason for that. Because if you go back 6,500 years, you know what you find? You running shit. There's a reason.
You ain't even got to go back that far.
You ain't even get okay. No, my point is no, hell no, you ain't got to go back that far. But that book with those dates and that chronology has that for a reason. And that reason has that thinking is what has to be broken up.
Minister.
Wow.
Well, you didn't even know a show like this exists, did you?
I sure didn't.
Nor did you know that you have an honorary seat on it. You just happen to be buying. You down the street buying some water. You got something you want to do.
You know, I'm taught, and I found it to be true, when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan have said to us that the universe was created in truth. Truth. And this is why all of us, no matter what our race, creed, or color is, we got to stop trying to find someone to blame. See, the biggest enemy to every race is ignorance. Ignorance is the biggest enemy. And the only way to eradicate ignorance is with truth. Truth. And you have expounded on some of that truth that has been hidden from blacks as well as whites as well as Latino. See? No nation can rise any higher than its woman. The black woman is the mother of all people.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's just scientifically a fact.
Can't argue it.
You know.
See? The truth have been kept away from us, and this is why we can't get no respect when we are hidden under other people's culture as well as their identity. Who are we? The movie Roots came on years ago, haven't been on TV since then, because we realized that most of our parents were Muslims.
How about it?
And when you go read the founding fathers' writing of this country, they said to us, there's two things you don't ever allow the Negro to ever regain. Number one, do not let him get back that religion we caught hell breaking him from. It took 64 years to break us. Number two, do not let them read about their history of their culture, George Washington talking. If they get these two things back, they will become trouble for us. Not just for us, but their own people. This is why they knew we had become 3/5 of a human being, because they know the two things they took. So if this universe is created in truth, then we need truth today. Everybody needs the truth, because we are being lied to in every field of endeavor. Look, all the disciplines, medicine, psychiatry, all of it is rooted in white supremacy. Benjamin Rush, the father of this country of psychiatry, I wouldn't give a 2 cents about his thinking, because he hated black people.
Drapetomania.
Yeah, he called a black man who run away drapetomania. That's systemic. In fact, if a black man run from a white man today, that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
So how do we gain respect? By recognizing truth. I am a human being. I love the truth even if it condemns me. Don't give me your perception, give me truth. Because once you give me truth and I can identify that truth, I submit. I care nothing about your perception. And when I can respect who I am, I used to be a dope dealer. I was a womanizer. I pushed more dope in Atlanta, Georgia. I was one of the top dope dealers until I came into a knowledge of myself. When I heard Minister Farrakhan say, black man, you don't know who you are. You are being used because of your ignorance as a patriot missile for others to destroy your community. That rocked me. And when I went on a journey for self-knowledge, I went on a journey for study. I'm going into Africa. I'm studying what black people did. I said, my God, they never taught me this in history school. And once I got that back, that's why now, brother, I'll speak my truth. I don't give a damn what your color is. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to speak what I think. I'm going to speak what I know. Because once I start speaking my perception, like you say, those colored glasses, then you probably can defeat me. So here's what I think. You know, I have a moral value. And if I follow my moral value by getting my relationship right with God and respecting that, only way I can lose respect in others when people say, Minister Tony, I thought you didn't come against black people. I thought you wouldn't speak against others. I thought you wouldn't do all of the moral values that you've put high. Now I'm going to tell you, be honest with you. As a minister in the Nation of Islam years ago, when I got beat by the LAPD, I went into a state of depression. And I started returning back to things that I had given up, i.e. drinking. I started back smoking weed again. And people start losing respect. Wow, minister, that ain't you. And when I realized that and I sought help for that and I got counseling for that, I saw that I went against what I believed in and I started losing respect. Wow. See, a saint who failed, but then I returned back to my values, back to what I believe. See, and when I regained my footing and stood back up on truth, brother, now I regain that respect. So I'm saying this, all races, we need a new race relation policy. And all of us got to sit down at the table, man, and speak on truth. And once we do that, America will become a better place. The world will become a better place. But the whole damn world got their feet on people of color, and the Western world's way of thinking have ruined us. I close with this. Minister Farrakhan said, whoever subscribes the diameter of your learning will control the circumference of your activities.
Bro.
Wow. Megan,
I'm going to the house. I ain't nothing to be said. The doors of the church is open.
Megan, would you like to try?
I'm going to follow Minister Tony.
What?
There's really listen, the thing that resonated the most with me of what you just said is truth. And
That's
if you can get yourself to the truth of yourself, of what's going on around you, then you'll command respect. You're not going to have to demand it. You just command it.
The difference between command and
Minister
demand.
Farrakhan is attacked by many rabbis. He said to them, don't sit back and talk about me, say I hate you, because you got a people who love me that get upset. He said to the rabbis in the Jewish community, he said, sit me down and show me where I have lied.
That's it.
If you could do that, he said, I will submit. But if I can show you where you all are lying, would you submit? See, you're dealing with a free black man who the lie has been told that he said Judaism is a gutter religion. That's a lie. He never said that. See, he said there are those who say that they are Jews who practice a dirty religion. Hugh Hefner claims that he's a Jew, but asks a rabbi, do you accept him as a Jew the way he exposed women? He speaks against Muslims who fake talking about they're Muslim, but they're selling pork in our community, selling liquor in our community. But yet you say, no, you're not a Muslim. That's a gutter religion. See? And so until we sit down at the table, instead of saying that man is an anti-Semite, an anti-Semite is a person with melanin. How can I be anti myself? Ooh. See, we got to stop all this lying. Nobody have a corner market on suffering. The Jews don't have a corner market on it. Blacks don't have no damn corner. We all have suffered.
Yes.
And we all have suffered at the hands of ignorance. And the only way ignorance go away if its truth is spoken. But if you scatter truth, if you like a damn vampire, the only thing that vampire fears is light. So we need light. So anybody out there in the audience want to have a conversation with me, tell me and show me where Minister Tony is wrong. I will bow not to you. I bow to truth.
Bow to truth.
I love the truth.
Megan, you want to wrap it up? Megan's like, shit, it's very aggressive in here.
This is the best day of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I like this woman. She brings balance.
I know. Oh my God. How you going to go after that?
I'll go crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Michael Jackson. And now for more entertainment.
I'm feeling boxed in. I'm a little boxed in right
Thanks
now.
for listening. These are the smooth sounds of ZoWhat.
You better go to commercial, ain't they?
Dr. G, answer my question, man.
Okay, I have a different spin on this about respect. I think anger makes you wild, conviction makes you strong. And what I hear here is more conviction than I hear anger. And there's a formula. Aggression plus mission or aggression plus principle gives you conviction. Aggression that's all personal, without any of those things, makes you hostile. Can I tell one quick story? Get a little my time in here?
You know you don't have any quick stories, but go ahead. Jesus.
Time me. I'll be less than the others.
Definitely less than me.
1995, I was at a international conference in Dallas, and Colin Powell was speaking. He was being considered for president. You may have all kinds of feelings about him, but he was pretty impressive. And there was 10,000 people in the Dallas auditorium, and it was a real estate convention. So these are all transactional people who don't care about anything, except stealing the centerpiece from the table at the banquet. But what happened is someone in the audience, after he spoke about being grateful to his community, about really needing to give back, about blacks need to help blacks. It was so uplifting. And in the question and answer, it was 11:30 in the morning. Someone says, General Powell, and he was being considered for president. General Powell, I understand that your wife was depressed. I think she was in a psychiatric hospital. I think she had shock treatment. You want to comment on that?
Whoa.
So the whole audience went totally quiet. And I thought, what's he going to do? Is he going to talk about political correctness, that we need to treat mental illness the same as other thing? Is he going to start crying like Muskie when someone insulted his wife? Was he going to just deny it? So here's one of the best examples of aggression plus principle. So imagine this. You're looking, and he says this, "Excuse me, sir. The person you love more than anyone in the world is living in hell, and you don't do everything you can to get them out. Do you have a problem with that, sir?" It just changed the whole auditorium. So I think that was a great demonstration that it's good to be aggressive, but you got to tie it to a principle or a mission. It can't just be something that's selfish, self-promoting, or whatever.
Like that.
And so I love what I'm hearing here, especially from Minister Tony here, is that I just hear the conviction, and you'd be an idiot to only hear the anger. You'd be missing out on everything he has
That's
had
what
to
we've
say.
been trying to tell you for years. You've been with us for years.
And see again.
Yes, sir.
You got to know melanated people. You know what I mean? People take our anger. I mean, you and I could be sitting around a room talking. You never saw anger. A white person listening to us, they see, where the hell is the anger? I'm not angry. I'm in love.
Wow.
I'm in love with my people. I'm passionate about my people.
Yes.
Go to Africa, watch us dance. It's aggressive.
Wow.
It ain't out of anger.
He's right. There was on the news the other day. Barack was talking to some Republicans, and he was just basically going over some things that they had that they were at odds with. And one Republican asked him something, and then when he just basically got back at him very stern. So then the reporter says, "And see, now Barack Obama's hostile." I'm like, what? Like he just literally, the dude got at him hostile, and he just turned back to the dude like that was a stupid question. And so he looked at him and he kind of answered him like in a very simple, that was a stupid question type of way. And then immediately he got the hostile label put right on him.
It's like Bernie Mac said, the way we grip each other, and when I see you and I speak to you and I grab you and pull you, that's not anger.
That's alpha male is what it is.
Right.
It's alpha male. Black alpha male energy is fearful for one reason. Because white folks is waiting for us to do what they would do if we had done to them what they had done to us.
Wow.
Which is why that's the only reason I kind of disagree when you say that you have to come from a place of anything other than, to me, seeing black people discuss their problems, It's not anger. It's fear. They fear the people who the white people who look and say this thing or that thing about what we are doing. It is a fear that they will one day have to compete equally.
Equally.
That's the fear. Is that
Listen, I got to wrap it up. Listen, before I do it, let me shout out some people who donated to the GoFundMe page. Michael Mick, 8 minutes ago, $20. Thank you so much. Chris Wade, $20, 20 minutes ago. Rick Massey, $20, 47 minutes ago. An hour ago, David Walker. Chris Griffin, $20. Mark Fowler, 3 hours ago. Thank you. Janae Brown, $10, 4 hours ago. $5, Eric David or Eugene Davis, $20. Ernest Lewis, 5 hours ago. Listen, if you want to donate to the VOR, the birth of the VOR radio network, go to GoFundMe.com and type in the birth of the VOR radio network. We're raising funds to create our own network. You understand? You underdig? Listen, today's topic is crazy, but I got to take a quick break. When I come back, Zoe's final thoughts. We're going to wrap it up. Let's see what I got to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. ZoWhat Morning Show. Let me just, as you know, I do a final thought. So let me just do this. Nobody in this mug is perfect. Let me just start there. See, I talked about this on my Facebook page yesterday. I'm a flawed brother. I came from a bad situation. You could read about it in my book, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. My life story is in there, and you get a piece of, wow, foster care. Moms fought, got us back, sick. She was sick, but she was able to get us out of the projects. And I didn't have a real good view of women, of black women. I had a mother who it took me until I was 30 years old to recognize the sacrifices that she made to make sure that she has kids now. None of them went to jail. None of them been on drugs. Right? And I didn't know how valuable she was to me until she was gone, 2009. Right? So my relationships have been hell. The two sisters that have provided me with children have gone through Dante's Inferno dealing with me. And I didn't recognize what Dante's Inferno felt like until I had children by them. And then I saw in the eyes of the three Sagittarius musketeers that are my children the bullshit I put the women through. So then I gained a new level of respect for them. Now, we might not always be on good terms, because if I was a construction site, you'd see the sign out front says, still under construction. This nigga is not finished. right? So you got to lead with what is yours to reconcile if you want respect. See, if you can't reconcile what is yours to deal with, no one's ever going to respect you, because you're going to always be in a position of demanding it as opposed to commanding it. See, when you go inside and untangle your knots, right, the way you flow, the way you present commands the respect of other people. But if you go in there and those knots are still tied, they can feel the energy of usury, of begging, of pleading, of demanding. Do you see? Respect is something that happens by default, by being at peace with yourself. You can't be at peace when you're missing chapters. You see? If you ain't reconciled it with your daddy, you probably won't reconcile it with your son's father.
and vice versa. You see? I'm going to say this to our people. Chasing a dollar without a plan for edifying your community is a form of racism. You see, people don't understand how money is racism. See, all the Europeans got multicolored dollars, multicolored paper that derives all of its power and wealth from Africa. Then the African currency is worth nothing in comparison. I saw a good friend of mine who had $1 trillion in African money in his hand. Right. But the white dollar that you'll kill your brother for, the lack of respect that you have for his life, is predicated on some green paper that is issued from America. Money is racism. When you value it over your family, over your community, over recycling. The Jews value money, but not over themselves. Money is a tool to build what they want. Money is a tool to maintain the moat around their community. It's a tool. It's not, listen, you can't floss on a white man. You can't stunt on him. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Gucci is European. You can't go to Europe wearing Gucci and think you're going to floss. You can't go to Italy and be like, Gucci. Yeah, and I'm having dinner with him tonight. Where are you going to be at? Do you understand? Giving black businesses and black relationships a second, third, and fourth try when they fuck up is important. Giving black family a second try. See, black people with relationships are like white people with old parents. White people with old parents will put them motherfuckers in a home and not deal with them. See, when you're powerless, all you got is estrangement. Do you understand? I'm just saying, when you powerless, estrangement is your best tool. Healing comes from self-acceptance. Self-acceptance comes from embracing your flaws, taking ownership of them. Desiring to want to do better, desiring to find your culpability in every experience that went bad for you. That's the only way you're going to be able to say, you know what? Fuck this system. Fuck their rules. Fuck their ideation and description of who they think I am. But as long as his ice, his water, his leather, his location is the cream of the crop in your mind, you'll never be able to respect your people and what is required of you when you get to a certain level to help us all. You'll never be able to respect it. You'll just, what the fuck I gotta do that for? I'm here now. Even though here don't really embrace you. How did he get here is the question they mumble after you walk out after handing them the welcome to the neighborhood cake. How did he get here? They here? Shit.
Let's move.
So all I'm saying is, if you want respect from others, you must first consider yourself. You must first love yourself. It's all an inside job. That's the only way to get it done. I'm Zoe Williams, and that's my final thought. Welcome to the ZoWhat Morning Show. Hey, today was crazy. I want to go around the table and get everybody's information. Dr. G, where can they find you, brother?
At Mark Goulston on Twitter, MarkGoulston. Please join us.
There it is. Hey, brother.
Yes.
Minister Tony Muhammad from the West Coast Nation of Islam.
Yes,
the representative of the whole get
yes,
down.
Sir.
We roll with this brother right now.
Representative of the West Coast Black Fist.
Speak on it.
Well, you certainly can follow me on Twitter. Is at Bro Tony Muhammad, or you could follow me on Instagram, Minister Tony Muhammad, or you can reach me at Muhammad'sMosque number 27.com. That's Mohammed'sMosque27.com.
Wow. Appreciate you, brother.
No, thank you, brother
seriously.
Zoe, man. This
Appreciate
is
you.
Beautiful, brother. Thank you for your energy and your spirit.
Thank you, man. Jeff Brown.
Oh man, I'm trying to write Muhammad's Mosque number. Okay. I type slow. These thumbs. At GB Funny Style is the Twitter. Jeff Brown on Facebook. Just keep up with me because I am going to be all of the things that these two brothers right here call me with their energy to be.
We respect you, Jeff. You know that. My good friend Kevin Berenger of the weightlifting gang. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Ass whooping gang.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, no, if you guys you want some training, want to burn off those holiday food, just get at me at 3bbootcamp.com. For everybody who wants the status classes, learn how to respect yourself in the correct way, hit me up at realnagas.com or realnagas@gmail.com.
Wow, today was an amazing show. Listen, if you want to participate in the ZoWhat Morning Show, all you got to do is join us here on Hot Button Radio, Mondays, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Topics, conversation. You know what we do. We're going to leave any stone left unturned. We're going to smack you in the mouth with the truth unapologetically. It's how we get down from the ground up. Fridays, the voice of reason is here on Hot Button Radio. That is 5 to 7 p.m. It is the female round table where they get to go in. But of course, here come the judge. I judge everything you got to say. So that's what it is. We appreciate you guys. We see you next Monday. Holla!